Hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Bajoita and I'm here a part of the team Sakshi. Before we begin, I would like to introduce you to the Rakshin Project. So, what is this Rakshin Project? Basically, the Rakshin Project is a youth led movement through which we are trying to reach 40 lakh NSS volunteers across the nation so that we can disrupt the cycle of child sexual abuse. Through intervention, we are trying and hoping to disrupt the cycle of violence and establish a new norm of compassion, accountability, and empathy. So, today, basically, we are here to talk about consent, and we have our Rakshin, Mr. Ujjwal, to share his experiences and his learnings throughout this project. So, I introduce you to Ujjwal. Ujjwal, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello everyone. Uh, as Vijayata mentioned it, I am Ujjwal and I did my graduation from National Law University Visakhapatnam, and right now I'm practicing in the High Court of Judicature at Patna. And yes, as Vijayata already mentioned, we will be talking about the consent and its importance in life of like everyone, especially child, and that will be the session all. That's the session all about.
Okay. So
Over to
Ujjwal,
you.
to begin with, okay, so Ujjwal, to begin with, I would like to know what is consent? What have you learned from our project? Like, what is consent and how is it important in one's life?
So yeah, definitely. We live in a society where we are somewhere accustomed with things, and we don't bother about the consent of the other people much. Like we have the notion that if I have shared something, and we have the notion that other person should agree to the notion we have, and that's where the role of consent comes up. You talk about there are a lot of issues going on across the country about marital rape and child marriage and a lot of things going on, and when I got to know about this Rakshin project, it was because a particular webinar was conducted by Sakshi, and I was the team leader of NSS at that point of time, and that's how I
Okay.
got to know about this particular project, and I joined it because I liked the concept. Because before this, one of my friends shared her story with me, of her childhood where she was a victim of a violence. So I joined it to know more about the project, and it was about the most important was part was the consent. Ma'am, somewhere we don't teach the importance of consent. It's like when you do things for long period, it's like people get to know that yes, this is how things work. We don't need it. If we have uh, told if it have told something, other person should completely get it and should agree to it. We don't give
Hmm.
much importance to the opinion of, we don't value, actually we don't value the opinion of our other person, and we ignore the consent part in day-to-day life, and that has impacted our society like anything. It's the mental health issues, the society thing, and everything coming up, and somewhere this consent part plays a very important role, and it has the capability of stopping lot of social evil if we start actually
Sure.
thinking about the consent part.
Exactly true. So, like, what are some of the barriers you think that we face when it comes to consent?
So first, ma'am, as I mentioned that we are somewhere processed like I will not divert this topic towards chauvinist society or the patriarchy, and not this thing. It's just I will mention it in a very simple and clear word, that we are so accustomed that we we are not at all concerned about the opinion. Forget about the consent part. We are not at all bothered about the opinion of other person, and that's where it's actually hampering the growth of the person, the growth of the child. You can see small child getting depressed these days. They are taken to the counselor, because we don't have that open space at home. We don't teach them. We don't teach the importance of consent. It's not about just educating them about the sexual health, or it's about everything. Ma'am, we need to make them understand that permission is important. Asking for and granting permission is important, especially when it comes to something like physical affection. This is that the type of relation that can be taught to a smaller scale, like being allowed to give permission to let someone borrow their toy and expand it as on they grow older. So that's how they can, and there should be freedom. Like, suppose they should have the freedom to change their mind. Like, there are times when child says yes to something, then out of fear or different circumstances they might have faced, they try to make it a no, but due to their experience, emotions, fear, etc., they are having. So we need to allow them to change their mind. We don't allow them. It's like, if someone has said yes, they are like, okay, how can I make it a no? What will my parents think? What will my friend think? So we don't. We need to create this space where we can respect their change of mind. Also, we need them to need to allow them to say no. If we go down and see this cases of child abuse, child sexual abuse, or a lot of things coming up, this is somewhere because we don't allow them to say no. Like, if some uncle is there, and we are like, okay, go and touch his feet. And if the child is like, nahi, nahi chuna hai. So like, अरे क्या कर रहे हो? जो uncle हैं, like, if he's not feeling like doing something, it's a simple example. It can go beyond anything. It can go beyond imagination, and because of which this sexual assault with the child victims, everything is coming up. So we need to create this atmosphere where someone can say no on without any fear or doubt. Also, we need to prioritize this importance of consent. If we need to ask them for their consent, which we are, if you like that, that's I felt like when I used to visit some places or to the place of my relatives, I used to say that their opinion doesn't matter in the sense कि हाँ ठीक है मैं जा रहा हूँ तुम्हें चलना है, I'm going to this place, you have to come with me, you have to come with me. We don't even ask for their consent. We need to develop this culture in, charity begins at home, and that's how we should start this. Yeah, we should start this practice from our home, then in the society, and that's how the entire nation will change. So the importance of consent, for consent we need to ask, and if someone is denying, we must all of like most of us have watched this movie Pink, Tapsu Pannu and this Amitabh Bachchan movie, where Amitabh Bachchan talks about no means no, but
No
we
means
need
no.
to, we need to understand and inculcate it in our day-to-day life that if someone is denying for something, we need to respect their opinion. If they are not comfortable enough to share their reasons of denial, we should respect that, and we should move on. And also, I would say, as I mentioned, that charity begins at home. We need to start. If the child is at home for most of the time, and they will learn what they see at home. And if the parents start practicing this culture of consent at their home, trust me, India need not wait for big change. The big change will come everywhere across the country. So we need to start practicing it at our place, from our home. They will see. If it's the boy, he will see that his mother is equally given opportunity to practice in things, to give her opinion, to her put her opinion, and her consent is respected. Obviously, the child will learn that, and whenever he goes out and become the part of the society, he will put the same example in the society. And if not, then we will know what is happening all around. So that's all.
Exactly. A yes can also become a no, right? We have learned
Definitely.
this.
Yeah, definitely. We need to be that open that if someone has, yes can be obtained under duress. Okay, that's a legal term. Forget
Exactly.
about that. If someone can say yes under some circumstances of pressure, that where we need to, ma'am, put this atmosphere or the condition where they should have the freedom to change their opinion. That if I have said yes at the earlier stage, I can deny from it. I can change my mind. मैं like मैंने अपना मूड बदल लिया, ठीक है, that should be respected. ठीक है, it's
Yeah,
we should go with that.
that is the first step to create a safe space, right?
Definitely.
So, Ujjwal, can you please give us some examples or real life experiences? Like, why is it important to have a consent? Why is it important to seek for consent in any circumstances? If you
Yeah,
could elaborate it with your
definitely.
own experience.
Yeah, as I mentioned it earlier, that I joined this particular fellowship because one of my friends shared her this story and the family culture I was talking about. I felt this thing, had it been there, she would not have suffered what she suffered in her very early stage, and which has impacted her mental health and to every thing beyond our imagination. So that was the example where I felt that we need to put and bring in the culture where our children, if we don't have the freedom to express ourselves in front of our parents or our friends, we should have a culture that our friends, or in front of our parents, we put our opinion very clearly that, okay, this is happening, this is I'm going through, I'm not in the mood, or this is what the uncle did, or someone on the road, these things. And what I've seen that if someone is, going through some like harassment or something, if they mention it, तुम्हें चलना नहीं आता है, तुम्हें इतने इतने बॉदर
Hmm.
करने की क्या जरूरत है? No, that's not how you deal with it, because आप वो एक बार बोलेगी, दो बार बोलेगी, तीसरे बार लगेगा कि यार इन लोग को तो बॉदर होते ही नहीं है, तो कोई मतलब नहीं बनता है, एंड देन विल शी विल बी फेसिंग इट ओवर एंड ओवर. तो ये चीजें बदलने के लिए हमें उस पर काम करने की जरूरत पड़ेगी. मोरओवर मैम, जो दूसरी एग्जांपल, सबसे बड़ी एग्जांपल कहते हैं ना कि मैं बार बार इस चीज पे इम्फेसिस करता रहूंगा जब तक ये सेशन है, दैट चैरिटी बिगिंस एट होम. हमें ये घर से शुरू करना पड़ेगा. आई विल गिव यू एन एग्जांपल वेयर आई चेंज थिंग्स एट माय प्लेस, because I hail from Bihar, and there was one practice. I don't know if the same practice is followed in most of the houses or not, but there was a practice earlier in my place that जब भी हम लोग डिनर टेबल पे बैठते थे, डाइनिंग टेबल पे, सो इट वाज लाइक कि जो माँ थी, भाभी थी, ये सारे लोग, ये इनका काम था कि दे यूज्ड टू सर्व अस द फूड, एंड लेटर व्हेन वी वर डन विद आवर lunch, dinner, or whatsoever, they used to sit together and eat. So it was like कि
Hmm.
no, this is not happening. अगर खाना खाना है तो सारे लोग साथ में बैठेंगे, सारे लोग साथ में खाएंगे, whether it's being the male part of the family or female, both इक्वल
Female.
पार्टिसिपेशन. ठीक है, खाना बनाना है तो हमने ट्रेडिशन बना रखा है कि फीमेल ही बनाएंगी, और
Hmm.
मतलब घर की जो महिलाएं हैं इनका ही काम है. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. भूख तो दोनों को लगती है, तो दोनों क्यों नहीं बनाएंगे? और इस तरीके से छोटा पार्टिसिपेशन बढ़ता है. और दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम माय प्लेस, एंड देयर इज इम्पैक्ट ऑफ इट, बिकॉज वेरेवर आई यूज्ड टू गो दिस थिंग एंड आई यूज्ड टू मेंशन अबाउट दिस थिंग. तो इसके दो इम्पैक्ट हुए हैं. पहला, पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड फॉलोइंग इट. दूसरा, लोग थोड़ा डरने लगे हैं, वो मुझे अवॉइड करने लगे. ये आएगा फिर ऐसा कुछ करके
अच्छा,
बोल के चला जाएगा. तो
मतलब आपने
दैट्स द
अपना
थिंग.
फैमिली मेंबर्स को ये कंसेप्ट का कॉन्सेप्ट बताया? मतलब डिड यू
जी,
टॉक टू देम
बिल्कुल.
अबाउट व्हाट इज कंसेंट एंड हाउ इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट?
यस. इसमें ऐसा था कि मैम, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया कि कहीं ना कहीं हमारे घर में ये जो मेल मेंबर्स था उनका डोमिनेंस था. और जो चीज़ मैं
हम्म.
आज कह रहा हूँ, मुझे इस चीज़ को एक्सेप्ट करने में कोई लोक लज्जा नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं इस चीज़ को गर्व के साथ कह सकता हूँ कि दिस थिंग हैड चेंज एट माई प्लेस. एंड दिस इज बिकॉज समवेयर बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट आई वॉज इन्वॉल्व इन एंड द लेसन्स आई लर्न इन द प्रोजेक्ट. और इसमें इसका डिफरेंस मुझे देखने को मिला कि अब जो है, अगर कोई कुछ करना चाहता है फैमिली में, अगर कोई हायर डिग्री परस्यू करना चाहता है आफ्टर देयर मैरिज, और इफ समवन वांट्स टू कम अप विद सम स्टार्टअप, ये सारी चीजें, तो दे आर वेरी ओपन, दे हैव गॉट द अपॉर्चुनिटी, जहाँ पे वो आते हैं और अपनी आइडियाज को बहुत क्लियरली पुट करते हैं. और मैं आपको बताऊं, इसका सबसे अच्छा जो हुआ है वो घर के इन्वायरमेंट पे हुआ है. कि यहाँ पे माहौल, आई फील लाइक कि वी हैव अ एटमोस्फेयर जहाँ हम लोग खुल के किसी भी तरह की बातें कर सकते हैं, और मतलब अबाउट पर्सनल, प्रोफेशनल, एनीथिंग. नहीं तो होता क्या है कि अगर इस तरह का माहौल नहीं रहता है तो यू कीप थिंग्स टू योर सेल्फ. सो दैट्स हाउ द कंसेंट प्लेज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन एवरी वंस लाइफ एंड फैमिली. और अगर हम इस चीज को, हम सारे लोग अगर फॉलो करने लगे, So definitely it will bring a good and great change.
Change. Exactly. Today, the Rakshin Project has reached your family, and we hope that we can reach to millions of people. So,
Yes.
can you tell me how you have implemented what you have learned during the project in your life? What are the learnings that you achieved from these webinars, from the Rakshin Project
Okay.
you have attended?
First of all, yeah. So first of all, I will like to repeat the line which we used to discuss on an average every day during our session. That was like न करेंगे
Yes.
न करने देंगे, हुआ है तो रोक के रहेंगे हैं, और हुआ है तो बोल के रहेंगे. विच मीन्स कि अभी जैसे होता क्या है कि किसी के घर में कोई बच्ची, उनके साथ किसी तरह का कोई मतलब कोई ऐसा नोन पर्सन है, वही उसे हैरास कर रहा है. तो लोक लज्जा
Hmm.
के कारण हम लोग इतना दबे रहते हैं कि हम लोग खुल के बाहर आना नहीं चाहते इन चीजों के लिए. और ये लोक लज्जा एक ऐसा चीज है ना कि जो आपको कन्फाइन करके रख देता है. एक ऐसी बाउंड्री, एक ऐसा अदृश्य कन्फाइनमेंट है जहां से निकलना कहीं ना कहीं हम कहते हैं कि अच्छा समाज क्या कहेगा, सोसाइटी क्या कहेगा. वी वी डू नॉट बॉदर अबाउट कि सामने वाला पर्सन जो इस सिचुएशन में है वो कैसा फील कर रहा होगा, उस पर क्या बीत रही है. चुप, कहते हैं ना, चुप रहना सिखा देते हैं. नहीं, हमें बोलना होगा. हम एक स्वतंत्र देश में रहते हैं. स्वतंत्रता हमारा जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार है और हम इसे लेके रहेंगे. विच मीन्स अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग इट, न करेंगे न करने देंगे. हुआ है तो रोक के रहेंगे और हुआ है तो बोल के रहेंगे. ठीक है. वी नीड टू कम अप विद दैट
True.
सेंस कि नो मीन्स नो. इस तरह के किसी भी एक्ट को हम लोग टॉलरेट करने नहीं जा रहे हैं. और वी नीड टू बी वेरी क्लियर एंड वेरी स्ट्रांग ऑन दीज लाइन्स.
Yeah, very true, very true. Your words are such powerful. It like thank you for being there. So I really thank you for joining this live with me. Thank you, Ujjwal. It
Thank you
means
for
a
your
lot for
opportunity.
us.